The guitar shops need to do what the auto industry's done. Stay tuned. Got a trick coming up. Casino Guitars. Baxter here.
Sean.
We're talking about... I'm friends with a lot of people in the guitar industry. I'm friends with a lot of people in the car and automobile industry because I think they're fun places. One of my wife's best friends runs one of the best Subaru dealerships in the whole country. Love hanging out with them. Not saying her name in case I get her in trouble.
She's smoking hot.
I'm just kidding. She is. She's in Myrtle Beach. It's the Subaru Hat and White. It's amazing. Love it. I bought one of our Subarus from there, and they're trying to sell us another one. I don't want it though because it has too much mileage on it. Jordan. Anyway. No, but this all came up from I was talking to some other dealers were sort of calling me over the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Baxter, you have a sort of a unique take on the industry. Everything's sort of changed right now. What's going on? And because they're worried about the guitar manufacturers are sort of all gone direct. And they all tell the same excuse. Well, Johnny did it. So did Peter. So did Sarah. We all have to do it. So I was like, God, it's right. They have. It stinks. We're fine, though. It hasn't really affected our bottom line at all. It hasn't affected most shops. At a certain tier, it does affect a lot of shops, though, dramatically.
It does.
And that one, and I was thinking, this is the line to get to before I get into the car thing. This is fun. Stay with us. They're like, well, our sales are only 1% or it's only 2%. That 1% of your sales equals multiple independent shops' entire sales for the year is that 1%. Multiple, not just one shop. So you have to imagine you're taking those sales from shops that would have otherwise done it. Yeah. Just remember that. Moving on, though, I was like, so I called a bunch of my auto friends. I was like, how do you guys deal with this? Do your manufacturers sell direct? And they're like, well, they try. And I'm like, well, what do you mean they tried? Let me learn more. Well, we have things called lawyers. And we have lots of money.
Bum, bum.
And we have these sort of these collectives. And I was like, and they kept talking about, I was like, sounds kind of like a union.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was
like,
wait,
with me on
huh?
this one.
I was like, car dealership?
Sean's
union?
like, I was thinking about Diablo last night. Should I get it? Should I not? I was playing too much Diablo last night. I went till midnight, which I shouldn't have done.
It's kind of like, I was like, whoa.
I know. Whoa, dude. No, but so
union.
So they've sort of had these groups of the independent car dealerships have all sort of bonded together and have groups where they have lawyers. Well, Ford's tried it.
Yeah.
Obviously Tesla does it. That's its own little sort of anomaly. But that's okay. There's certain things in the guitar world that do that.
Yeah.
But Ford's tried it. GM tries it. But I was like, what would you do if Subaru did it?
I mean,
she said we'd sue them.
Oh, well, that's an easy answer.
and I was like, why? And she says, well, the amount of resources we've invested to build the brand, we've built this multi-million-dollar building. We've been selling these things for decades. We've built the brand. We handle all the service. We handle all the complaints. But really, we've spent a fortune in developing our locality of where we sell it to sell it out in this regional area. They don't sell on the internet in the same way like guitar shops do.
That's interesting.
So they've spent millions. I was asking don't you have to fix the concrete in the back where you park the cars? That's going to be $80,000. Then we have another $800,000 new facility we have to build right here. I'm like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Well, that kind of puts more of a perspective on the selling direct thing too, where it kind of showcases that the thought hasn't been put at all, in my mind, to what dealers do and what dealers have committed to for, in some cases, 40 years.
Well, it's not just buying the product and the SKU lines. That's not even what it's about. It is about buying real estate, renovating this real estate, hiring and training a staff over the course of decades to years.
People's lives, Think about, like I said, there are shops that have been around for 40 plus years. There are people there who we both know in different areas of the country.
When you go to Chuck Levin's, Carlos has been there for 40 plus years because he started there at the age of 1. Yeah. He's 41 now. And he
still looks that handsome.
Well,
wow.
He came out of his mother's birthing region.
Carlos,
I think, what words can I say on air? I think I can say vagina, right?
Maybe.
I think it's a good way. It's a healthy word.
It's
a good word.
Scientifically correct.
Thank you. I can say that. I just said it, so it's said. But no, he came out looking like he does, and it's just he's face
his whole career is based upon this, and it's it showcases that some of these manufacturers, I feel like, truly go into it kind of thinking, So what? That's what, as a young person who is in this, and I intend to be here for
Yeah, I
the
mean,
long haul, right?
I
want to
do too. It's
grow and do
fun.
it. And I see this as one of those situations.
Oh, and what if when we're bringing in a new full-time staff member? You'll come
are.
meet him soon. You'll see him. He'll pop by behind us. We're very careful about who we bring in. It's very cultivated here. But it's going to take a good year of getting used to the system before, like, okay, you're part of the team.
Exactly.
It's not like you just come in, because people ask, hey, I want to work at the guitar shop over the summer. You guys got any openings? Like, it doesn't really work that way. Yeah. Because we're selling the nicest guitars.
Well, and also, the knowledge base that you kind of take on. I know whenever I started, like, Taylor for me was a line I had never heard of. The same thing with Martin. They were both very confusing to me at first, but I literally studied them. I sat down and I went through the numbers and I tried to figure them out the best I could. But anyways.
Well, then we sort of started kicking some ideas around too. Like, first it was like, well, there's some groups. There's like the Association of like Independent Music Dealers. And Justin Sims, my friend down at Sims Music, great shop in South Carolina. His dad Jerry's better, I guess, because he plays guitar better.
Eat it, Justin. Your dad's cooler.
He is cooler. I mean, it's just he's the OG, man. Like, I like shreds it. I guess Justin's pretty cool though. Justin's got like a good-looking wife and stuff, and a cool kid. So fine, whatever. Justin's cool. He plays drums. He's got cool hair.
Well, he plays drums, so he's a winner already.
He's a winner. But anyway, no, he's really involved in this. And then we were thinking, like, what's some other groups? And they're trying to pivot for change and help. Not just in this. There's just all sorts of things in the industry. There's NAMM, the National Association of Music Merchants. Or so that means guitar shops. People that sell guitars, not make guitars, but people that sell guitars.
Yes, the people who show up to be at the event, not to.
Well, that's just the NAMM event you're talking about. The NAMM organization does a whole lot of things: music in schools, helping support music resellers. So, but what I would think is, like, they would have had some really strong words against the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Right. Like, really, when they all went sort of direct, as a direct affront to all of the sellers of their products.
Yeah. They would be the ones that could kind of tie everyone together and say, hey, this is our group. That's
what you would think. But I didn't hear anything from that. And it might have been like, hey, don't do that. Or just like, hey, we hope NAMM comes back, because that's our main. Because we all pay membership dues to NAMM, like a union. But like we all go to the NAMM show. We used to, until the Great Plague happened and everybody stopped. And then they kind of couldn't get their game together, and they started doing it at weird times. And the manufacturers all pulled out. It's a free-for-all there.
Yep.
So, but that would be one of the allies, I thought. That didn't happen.
Yep.
So then we started talking to some of our other friends in the guitar shop business. Not the small ones like us, but the ones that are really big, like really big ones. I won't say names right now.
Guitar Center.
They're next on the list. I do want to talk to them.
Yep.
We talked to some big ones in that universe.
Yep.
And they're all interested in sort of talking more about this, and sort of, because the industry is changing a lot. And it's not a positive change with what some of the manufacturers are doing. I look at the great shops. I'm going to mention some great shops like Wildwood Guitars, one of my favorites. You hear me talk about them on this channel. Dave's Guitars, Chuck Levin's, Norman's Rare Guitars, Gruhn's, Carter's. These great shops, and not all these shops are just, you're like, well, Carter's is just vintage. Gruhn's isn't, and Gruhn's used to be huge in the new business as well. They sort of saw the writing on the wall in some of the cases. Yeah. But these shops, they built these brands. The brands didn't build the brands. They were selling them from day one. Teaching, like, when somebody comes in the shop, they might go in there saying, I want a Taylor guitar.
Yep.
Half the time they leave with a Martin, because there's people there that will help you find the right guitar for you.
Yeah, and there's something too about, think about all the young kids that come through this shop and have no idea what a guitar is, and we take them on that journey. We start that journey, right? Well, in a situation, let's say all guitar shops are gone, obliterated, right?
Sounds good.
How do young people come to that? You know what I mean? How do young people get inspired by that? For me, what inspired me in the third grade was somehow getting my hands on a Guitar Center catalog and seeing the guitars in the catalog.
Well, that's what the internet does now, obviously. And so that's where the manufacturers are like, well, we don't have to do this anymore. And the problem is, from the past, is like, we didn't have a group. Like, NAMM doesn't do it for us. That we don't have the deep pockets of car dealerships. Yeah. And we didn't have the deep pockets. Yeah. But like I was saying, I've talked to some of these great guitar shops. Not the ones I just mentioned. I'm just saying those are great guitar shops. We've talked, well, maybe some of those, but we've talked to some of these shops, and there's talks about everybody getting together maybe having some serious talks to the manufacturers too. We're just a small little peon on this thing, but we know how we got a loud voice sometimes, and we're very passionate about keeping music alive, keeping the shops alive. You hear us talk about all the great shops that we love that aren't ours, so it's not a self-serving one in the same way. We sing the praises of Sweetwater. We sing the praises of the people at Guitar Center holding it down. We don't want Guitar Center to fail. We're horrified it will because of private equity and what they've done to it by castrating it pretty much from the top down. But we have faith that the people that are making it something and are still going in there will make it out. We need that. It's a tricky spot. Sorry, I was going to go deeper. I can't do it. I gotta be nice because it is about positive. I think there's a chance that like with enough shops sort of talking now, because we're all independent by nature.
Yeah,
we're all sort of rock and rollers.
Well, that's kind of
we don't want to be like in a collective. It's not our jam.
That's kind of like, when I was building on though about the inspiration part. I think if you talk to everybody who is a part of a guitar shop or running one, is the inspiring of the next generation always, right? Like that's a part of it. It's not about selling SKUs and moving product and all of those things. It's about actually sharing the joy of what it is too.
I don't think any of us, going back to the greats of Wildwood and Dave and stuff, got into this to like we're gonna get rich selling guitars. Yeah, it might happen, but that's not. There's other businesses where the money is just so much more fluid and lucrative. We get in this because we love guitars. We love music. We love seeing young people play guitars. It's just funny if I just stopped saying the play guitars parts. We just love young people. Just pause. I think it's just a funny thing to say.
Casino guitars.
Sorry, gotta have a little bit of just awkwardness and humor in my
just
mind.
A casino.
No, there's gambling. No, it is. It's a fabulous business. Like I love guitars. Like we did that whole video on Squires the other day when they came in. It's so much fun when the new stuff comes in.
Well, and all the people that we get to meet who share that same joy. They share that same thing where they just love it. Like it's not about, oh, how much did you sell today? No, it's like so and so.
Well, that's what Derek and I were talking about that before you showed up, and it's just like it isn't. He and I both, we don't ever go home and like let's count the money. What can I buy myself this year because we've made extra money? I never think about the money from the guitar shop. Always goes back into the guitar shop, and it goes back into the people that are here, and then what we're trying to do. And it's not. We're not, oh man, let's go buy a new car or like get this fancy thing and get a boat. I mean, a boat would be rad.
Boat is rad. I mean, just buying lots of boats.
I mean, lots of boats.
But I mean, in the same sense.
No, it's just because we love guitars and we love this what we do.
Well, it's kind of like our time too and what we spend it on here. Like we spend a lot of time trying to just do that extra little bit that we think on, like cleaning up the shop for,
Or answering the calls for people that aren't buying guitars from us and have questions about from another. We do it all the time. It's not a burden because we want to help. We want people to enjoy this whole universe that we've been so fortunate and lucky to be a part of for the time we have. So, there's some things coming in the future. It's neat that we've been able to sort of connect the dots of some serious players and because sort of protecting everyone's own interest, but also protecting the interest of music and guitars across the board. I don't want to see this become a bean counting industry. I don't want it to become, what Coca-Cola and PepsiCo can do every once in a while, where it's like just grind out thing. Here's the new Coke. Here's the new Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi.
It's just God, make a Strat, make a grade 8 14 CE, make a wonderful J45. You don't have to change the J45. No, they don't.
Make something great, do it well, and share the love. That's what it's about.
I agree. It's about. There's so many jokes I just had to let slide off the table.
Share the love. Just get that love all over Baxter. He wants the love.
I am lonely. Too much Diablo time.
Way too much Diablo.
I think that's all we got, though. I think that's the idea. So it's actually, we're excited about things in the future. Yeah. As much as some of these manufacturers want to try to throw a little wrench in there and act like, hey, everybody else is doing it, or well, that's just what we have to do. The times have changed.
Be the change. See. Be the change of course.
Or be a leader in the industry and don't be a follower. That's what I would say.
Stand up, I
know, stand up and do what's right by not just us, but what's right for everyone out there. We'll have more on it later.
It ain't all about the Benjamins, boys.
I mean, but it is for corporations, unfortunately, sometimes. I guess that is the bottom line.
That's what I was talking
is the bottom line.
I was talking to them. Whoever them is.
Like Boys to Men.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know who that group is?
I know Boys to Men.
I wasn't sure if you knew who that was.
My mom was a big Boys to Men fan, so.
Hey, by the way, Sean's mom is fine.
Baxter's mom's hotter though.
My mom is really hot. Well, she's older, but she's obviously something weird. No, I have a beautiful mom. I'm very happy. If you have a beautiful mom, tell her so. My mom knows it. I don't have to tell her. She's very confident.
Give her one of
Signing out. I'm done now. That's all I got. Peace be with you. Click like, subscribe.
Love those mamas and hit that bell.
Hit them bells. That's all I got. I don't know what we're doing now. Just cut it off. Cut it out. God.